Hello everybody, I am Captain Paxo. I still think it's cool to play LEGO games as an adult. And joining me today, do you two want to introduce yourself?
My name is Luz. I play like a lot of LEGO games and I mainly glitch on them. But I also run from time to time.
Yep, so what we have here, so we have LEGO The Hobbit, so we forwarded about 6 years from John's run. This game is released in 2014, and in that time the devs did not actually do much to patch any glitches or anything. We are playing restricted any percent today, which means that my FPS is capped to 60. And the reason we do that is there's some tricks in the game that you can do with higher FPS, they're frame rate dependent tricks. But for a more level playing field, and also it capping FPS to 60 brings a lot more fun skips in. We are also then playing with the no-cut variable. So if you type in this code into any LEGO game, post LEGO Harry Potter years 1 through 4, you will be able to skip pretty much any cutscene. I say pretty much, there's one we can't skip, but we'll point that out when we get to that. But that saves, I think it's like 10 minutes in this run, just being able to do that. And I think, let's get this started. The last one to talk about is solo. Obviously, I am going to be the only one playing the game. However, I'm going to be using 2 controllers to play at the same time. The second controller I'm going to be controlling with my chin to use a joystick, and then using my thumb for the buttons. So I think with that being said, we are pretty much ready. That's the wrong file. Pretty much ready to get into this. So I'm going to start the game here. Time is going to start when we skip the opening cutscene. We have about 30 seconds wait before that, and then we will get into the first level.
My dear Frodo.
Yeah, this game is weird because in the beginning because it has basically 2 title screens depending on which part of the movie you end on. And you can skip this beginning section if you have the bad quotation mark title screen, but with the other one you can actually skip it.
Right, so we are ready to get started. So let's count down from 5. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go, Paxo, good luck.
Thanks. So you can actually hear in this first section, because we're not meant to skip the cutscene, you can actually hit 2 layers of audio straight away. That's because the cutscene's still playing in the background. If we were to reset the game now and start a new game, then we'd skip to whatever point in the cutscene the audio currently is.
Here we have the first instant of 1 P2C, 1 player, 2 controllers. It's used in almost any LEGO game. And as it's designed to be played as a co-op, a local co-op, it's way faster to play with 2 controllers most of the time.
Yeah, also you can see in this game the split screen is actually dynamic. So if you're familiar with older games like Batman, Indiana Jones, or also the Star Wars games, you have to be in a certain proximity to each other in those games. But starting with Harry Potter 1 to 4, I want to say, they changed that they can be at 2 completely different areas of the room. They still have to be in the same room. They can't be on another level.
And we'll be coming up to the first big skip in this run. It's called Gem Skip, and you'll see Paxo jump and then quickly drop out the player. That way he's jumping through a transition, but when the player's not active, he doesn't trigger the transition. And the transition triggers a cutscene which closes the door, and you have to do a whole puzzle to open it again. But now he can just walk through it.
Yeah, this saves 2 minutes. It's actually faster to reset and attempt it again than to actually do the room in the intended way.
Yeah, I think it comes out to about the same. I think it's like 1 minute 40 for that room. So to be able to skip that straight away, that's a big time save to have right off the bat.
And a big reset point if you miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw here like something that's unique to this game is the resources. So Paxo had to destroy certain objects. He needs 2 wood, 4 wood, 2 ropes, and some copper and stone. And if the drops are RNG, it can be anything from 0 to 4. But he has everything now that he needs, because there's like a building pad here. And Paxo knows everything by heart here.
Yeah, the bricks you need to select are always the same, but they're always in a random location. So Paxo has to quickly look where they are and yeah, build them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that was pretty nicely done. Apart from the last phase there, that was pretty clean.
And here comes the magic. So as you saw on the right side, Paxo got a perfect hit. It's indicated with the whitish outline, and those are way quicker. You need to destroy 3 pieces here to get the Arcane Stone.
We'll see in this next section another big skip. In this game you can move P2 before P1 during like camera transitions, so he can jump through an invisible wall before it spawns over those blocks that were falling, and skip big section.
Yeah, that was quite nicely done.
Yeah.
I've been struggling with a lot of that in practice, so to get it straight away, we take those.
Here you can see him moving earlier with P2 as well.
Yep, and now we're going into one of the, well, newly re-broken rooms in the game. About 5 days ago, Loz managed to find a brand new piece of tech which we can make use of here. So Loz, if you want to explain it.
Yeah, so you can see on the left and right of the statue here, you can see like those piles of gold. Normally if you jump into those, you just sink into the gold and jump back to the path. But what we figured out is that if you body up, which is a mechanic as you can see here, and then jump and then frame perfectly jump again and hold neutral on the control stick, you don't sink in and you can skip a big part here. You might think it's hard to frame perfectly. We do buffer jumps, so after a certain point, if you release and repress the jump button, you do a frame 1 jump. So it's just flicking your control stick at the end to get to the end. It was really nice done. I think we're 3 and 1.
Yeah, 3 and 1. I think this might actually be close to gold for me. Because this trick is so new, I haven't really had the time to properly embed it in runs. So I think I got a couple of golds in the practice room as well. So. But this is the end of the first level. I'm going to skip this last cutscene here. And then we have a short status screen, and we're going to go into the overworld and then break the game even more.
Yeah. You have to play this level. There's no way around it, but now we're really gonna break this game wide open.
Yeah, so we've just completed level 1. Normally you'd probably expect us to go on to level 2, but we're actually not going to do that. We're going to be doing some overworld movement to get to the final room of level 13. There's 16 levels of this game, so we're skipping 12 and a half, 11 and a half, I think.
Yeah, 11 and a half. You'll see Paxo position his characters on either side of the bush and try to buddy up. The game wants to connect the 2 characters, and in certain spots the closest way is up, so it just launches the 2 characters upwards, and Paxo will try to use that to get over the invisible barrier and get out of bounds here.
I'm not getting much luck with this at the moment.
Yeah, it's quite a hard launch to get.
Oh, P2 doesn't want to jump. There we go.
Make sure you're not going too close there.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, this looks so scary.
And this is another mechanic you can do with buddy ups. If you attack, then you stay on the same height, and if you in the same frame attack again, then yeah, you can just hover over any distance.
Yeah, exactly. So now we've got a little bit of time. We've got to make our way on the overworld. Just this is completely out of bounds. So we will throw it over to any donations.
Yes, and thank you. We have $100 by Grey Cat Gaming that says, great runs for a great charity. Keep up the good work. And that actually goes towards the Prey 2017 80% Glitch Exhibition, which is now only $70 away from being met. So keep on coming and let's get that met this run. Thank you very much for that donation. And we have Bearhead for $5 that says, spam this Saxo to support Paxo.
Yay,
Good luck on your
Bearhead.
run, Paxo, and try not Paxo throw. I don't know what that means, but don't do it.
It's yeah, throwing for content or just generally throwing. I'm pretty famous for that in the community. I like to throw away a lot of good runs accidentally on some stupid things, but yeah,
That won't happen today.
No.
hopefully not.
So here's another hover over the river. Because first we would do hover alongside the edge and follow the river, but as you can see, hovering is pretty slow. So now we cross the river, walk on the other side, and then cross it again for the section where we need to go.
Yeah, actually doing it this way saves about 20 seconds over just going directly towards the trigger because of how much slower hovers are, even though they're incredibly broken.
I think it's a good part now to explain like the big skip that's coming up here.
Yep.
So this game has out of bounds triggers for the levels. So they placed transitions to go into certain levels just out of bounds. And for whatever reason, they placed it right here. Oh, nice first try.
Let's try and let's go.
Inside the wall.
Inside the wall, and a little bit of it sticks out. And yeah, we're now went from the first level to the last room of level 13. And the game is kind enough to actually unlocks what we need and just lets us actually progress to the next level, to level 14.
Yeah, so once we've entered this level, the game thinks we've like reached this part in regular any percent or like regular story progression. So we are now soft locked out of the 11 levels between level 2 and 12. So we can't get 100% anymore, but we can still progress with the story just as normal.
Disturbance of the tombs of the Nine confirm that
You can hear Saruman talking through the loading screens. And yeah, just grab a horse, go to the next level, easy stuff.
Yeah, so the horses are something we unlocked in that by going into that last level. We then get horses. They usually you can only access them after completing level 8, but any time after level 8, they say that they're available.
And now in this level, playing as 2 wizards, they have they can shoot blue blocks. They're quite tricky to handle sometimes.
Targeting is really bad, yeah.
Nobody likes them.
But we're coming up here to Fog Skip, which is a really cool skip. It's a one-try trick, but it looks really flashy in my opinion, and it's just like a cool example of what is possible, especially if you just limit yourself to 60 FPS, because with unlimited FPS, you could just launch over it. You can basically launch everywhere if you uncap your FPS. But here we have to get more creative.
Paxo, you can see Paxo building some stuff with Gandalf. That's not necessary for the trick, but it's a one-try trick, so he's setting up for the backup already, in case he misses it. Yeah, he's healing 2 birds. These 2 birds will carry the crate away, so you can build the last statue. He positioned Gandalf on the crate, so he will get carried away as well, and then with a well-timed jump here, he'll try to get out of bounds and into the trigger for the next room.
That looks good.
Let's go.
Yes,
That's a
there we go.
perfect
This skips 1 minute doing it that way.
Yeah, otherwise it's a lot of quite technical 1P2C, which I'm so glad I didn't have to show off.
And you can really see like the ability to use 2 players at the same time coming in handy, just to do right and left side stuff at the same time.
Here we come into a boss fight against Azog. He's the main villain of the game, but as we skip 3/4 of the game, you only see him once. And that's this fight. pretty simple. 3 phases, and you have to hit the right button that comes on the screen.
Yeah, there are small optimization. You see Paxo going to the top left corner there, because every time you finish one phase, Azog will slam down and it will push you away. And if you're standing there, you get the shortest knockback. Also, we can see like the button prompts above Azog or the wizards, showing you which buttons you have to hit. There can only be 3 buttons to hit, and it can't be the same button twice in a row. So it's basically 50-50 chance if you can get something earlier or not.
Yep, and you can't mash both buttons at the same time that it could possibly be, because if you do that, the game hard locks and you have to restart the PC. I found that out the hard way.
Hard enough way.
So we've got short auto-scroller here. You win by doing absolutely nothing. It's quite nice. And then we're going to go into another boss fight, so now would be a good time for some donations.
Indeed, I have one, and you might recognize who that is. I have $28 by Laser Trap, who says, after counting again, here's $2 for per missed cutscene skip. I also forgot to shout out Miklo Ron, who found quite a few of these strats. Now let's have a really solid Hobbit run. Let's go, Paxo. And I think it's going really well so far.
It is going very well so far. Way better than I was expecting.
That's some solid chin action right there. Do I have a few more seconds?
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to plug something very near and dear to my heart. We have an upcoming run right after this for Retro City Rampage, and we have the Palette War Edition here at ESA 2022, where there's 5 options here, and I have convinced the runner to keep the bid war open during the run. So if you want to see that palette get swapped mid-action, I can get that happen for you. But you got to get your donations in, and if you want to see more, go to Twitter at ESA Marathon and check out what type of palettes we have. We have My Eyes in the leads by $80 right now with GTA 3, which is what the runner actually wants. Right behind it with $60. Now, I actually would love to see some Virtual Boy action because it's really, really bad. So let's get those donations in, everyone. Come on, let's go. Let's get some Virtual Boys. Get some real retro action for a retro game. Back to you.
You can see Paxo jumping off here a couple of times. That's to get rid of all his stats. In the end card of every level, you get like a counter of all the stats you get in the level. But if you end the level with 0 stats, you skip that part of the end card.
Paxo also did that in Look for Proof, the level before that, which was only the last room. He made sure that we actually end the level with 0 stats. You can do this 0 stat strats for 3 levels, the 3 levels in the middle. So you're doing 5 levels in total. For the first level, Great Skin of Middle-earth, it's not possible. You gain so much stats there, it wouldn't even save time if you could do it. For the second, third and fourth level, it's the best way to go for, and it's pretty much everywhere doable there. It's tricky for the next level, and then we have the final level, and for the final level it literally doesn't matter because we end time before the status screen appears.
Yeah, so fun thing about 0 studs, in most other LEGO games, it's usually only the first level that you want to end with 0 studs, and the rest of them it doesn't really save time. Like for Lord of the Rings, for like the sister game of this game, 0 studs saves about 15 seconds in the first level, and then doesn't save any time at any other point. This game is completely reversed. You can only do it, you can only do it in kind of the middle levels, because the first level it's just not possible to.
And he'll hit the last statue here. Quickly die because now he's picking up a couple of stats. And that's the end of this level.
Yep, so 0 on both characters, that looked good.
It's always scary because LEGO games are notorious for crashing. So if a loading screen, like a black screen, takes a little bit too long, you always fear for a crash.
Yeah, we like to complain about that, but we break them pretty much, so kinda is to be expected.
Here we can see Paxo going for another pickup launch, buddy up launch.
Nice.
Nice.
That was very clean.
Yeah, this skips just like a lot of over movement. It's basically taking the shortest path. You can't just walk up there. because the mountain is slippery, so you have to launch onto a certain point. Are you going for a fast OTT?
No.
There's a notorious launch here. We call it fast OTD, fast on the doorstep. But yeah, it's so inconsistent that unless you're going for world record runs, you just don't do it.
Yeah, basically what you do another pickup launch, and it launches you all the way to the top of this section. It saves 15 to 20 seconds.
I think more like 25.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really inconsistent to try and get it, at least for me anyway. So I always go for the safe strats and no resets or kind of marathon runs, I guess.
If he got the jump there and didn't go too close to the stairs, he could have skipped that camera pan.
Paxo also setting up now 0 stats here.
Big jump there. Easy.
Yeah. We made sure that player 1 has 0 stats.
Yeah, so in this level, right up until the end of this level, I need to make sure I have no more than 2,000 studs on one character and 0 studs on the other character to be able to have a go at getting 0 studs. It looks like I'm going to be good for that. And then the setup itself is not the easiest either.
Here we will see another launch that is possible in this game. He wants a horizontal body up here, and then he'll go into collision here, spin a couple of times, and collision plus body up in this game
Equals broken.
yeah, the physics engine just shuts off and you launch.
That looked good for 0 studs as well.
Let's see.
It's time for another quick death there.
So you lose 1000 stats each time you die. And by just walking off the edge, you can actually die once, then respawn, and you're close enough to actually, in those couple of frames, you're close enough to actually die again and lose the last 1000 stats.
So, it's been less than 20 minutes and we're already in the last level.
This run's going amazing.
This run is really really good. My PB is a 25:21. Since we submitted the estimate, this game has been broken an awful lot. I think it's like 3 or 4 minutes quicker than when it was when I submitted the estimate. So we are definitely going to end up below estimate. I think this is on pace for a 25-minute run, which would be absolutely amazing to get in a marathon.
This section you are locked in like a crouching animation, so it's actually faster to roll than walk here.
Yeah, now Pax picked up the flail, and the flail is the fastest form of movement, has statue skip. So you have to charge up the flail, and if it's more than 4 rolls, you want to use the flail to actually move the quickest.
And you can use it to skip certain points. So he skipped the statue there. In this section he will position Bilbo after building that right behind the scales there, and on the correct timing he'll take a death, and that will skip another camera pan in the next section.
Let's see if I can get this.
Yeah.
That looks good.
That looks pretty good, yeah.
I'm not sure how much time this saves. It saves about 4 seconds, but if you do it right, you won't actually be able to tell that you've done it right.
Yeah.
So one of those weird skips like that.
So basically here should be another camera pan if you do it wrong, but as you can see there's no camera pan, and we can use the plate there or the X plate immediately.
He will go for another skip. The chandelier is in the way, and normally you have to shoot it down. There plays like another cutscene, but he'll kill Balin, stand in its place, and Balin respawns, clipped into the chandelier, and it can be skipped like that.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like much, but it skips a camera pan, and it skips way more than it looks like.
And This is the last section of hiding.
Nice.
Yep. And now we enter this cutscene, and as you can see, I actually can't skip this cutscene at all. This is the one cutscene we found, I think, in pretty much any LEGO game. But when using the N0CUT5 cheat code, you can't actually skip it. You also can't skip this when you re-enter the level after you've completed it once. That's a mechanic in LEGO games to be able to get 100% in each level. So because of that, we have some more time to throw it open for donations.
That's perfect, because I'm getting a lot of love from the LEGO community here. I have the hamster with $20 that says, "Good luck, Paxo. Really glad you get to show this game off for everyone. And thanks for representing LEGO."
Yeah, big shout outs to the hamster. The hamster's the current world record holder and has done lots of amazing stuff breaking this game. I think half of the skips kind of in this run have been found by the hamster, so big shout out.
That's awesome. I also have $5 by We Super that says, "What is up, my fellow LEGO speedrunners? Congrats on showcasing this run and keep up the great work. Enjoying this in the middle of the night. Thanks for coming in this late to watch the run, We Super."
Yep, We Super as well as one of the series mods for the game, alongside Loz and Prince and
Chimkin and
Chimkin.
Japanese spaghetti.
and Japanese Spaghetti. So they're the 5 that kind of look over all of the different LEGO games. So yeah, huge shout outs to all of them. And we are just about to start the kind of last part of the run. So if it all goes well, it's about 2 minutes from here to the end. So definitely going to be below estimate.
But as that is, well, it's 3 launches, this last section, and launches can be a bit iffy sometimes, not too consistent. That was first
Let's
time.
try.
So it's always scary if you're on very good pace and then you go into this section not knowing where it will end. Here we take the second launch. This is also a complete sequence break. You have a couple of cutscenes and a couple of puzzles you have to do. We skip them all.
Yeah, this launch is kind of scary. It's also one try, but I want to say it's like 90% consistent around there, and we have backups if you can't do that. Also, if you're having problems with flashing screens, you might want to look away for just a little bit.
I'm making
Okay.
sure that didn't happen.
Okay, so
if
you're good,
you
you're good.
switch the characters one at a time there, the camera just completely freaks out and yeah, it starts to vibrate violently. So that's always a fun little glitch there.
Cool, so we now have, well, 2 sections left in the game. This first part, we are going to be throwing torches at Smaug because, I don't know, we want him to get off our property, I guess. And then we have the final launch of the game, which used to be the most inconsistent launch in the game. However, there is now kind of a setup for it, so hopefully it's not too bad and we can get it pretty near first try.
It's a pretty weird setup. Paxo will drop out here and drop back in on keyboard because for some reason, we don't know why, this last launch is way more consistent if it's being done on keyboard with P1.
Yeah, so Paxo now changed from controller to controller keyboard. That looks good.
Pretty. And
And there we go, time is coming up pretty soon. Time is now.
GG.
That stopped it? That stopped it.
Yeah.
It didn't stop.
Uh,
It was 26-17.
Yeah, that was a 26-17. We will
That's
we will take
amazing.
those. That was really good. So I guess we've got a bit of time in hand for some shout-outs now. So let you guys start.
Yeah, first shout out to you for showing this game off, obviously. Then we also have a tournament of this game going right now. So we have a Lego The Hobbit restricted any % tournament. So if you want to see more of those like tournament races, we playing in a we're playing in a best of 3 format. You can head over to Lego Speedrun's Twitch channel. We showcase that there. There's also Legothon, which is a marathon dedicated only to Lego games, which he actually started organizing now, so keep an eye out for that. There's the Lego Speedrunning Discord channel, where you can also find every single game, every Lego game. You can also find the handheld games there, which Trap showed off before. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure, or interested in Lego games in general, check those out. Really big shout out also to LavaFang407, a fellow glitch hunter. Him and I, we both tried to find like the most broken stuff in this game, and he was the one that initially came up with the idea for the level skips. Who else?
Well, shout out to the just Lego community.
Yeah.
Very fun people, very welcoming when I came in. So shout out to them. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think we got most people covered. The runners as well. So we got the Hamster, the world record holder, Jack Juggler, Flaming Laser, Michelle, and various others. And of course, everyone at ESA for having us. Thank you very much. And I think that's us done. So we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Paxo, for that amazing run. Now, don't go anywhere, everyone, because we're going to be right back after this quick intermission, and we're going to have Retro City Rampage coming up next. So see you soon.